to you with another edition of Ratchet Astrology. We are still in Taurus season. And as you can see, I done got it about as down to earth as I can get at this point. Um, I don't know if I'm just going to leave these locked for the third time or if I'm just taking our word as a twist out. But I got my natural hair popping, eyebrows ain't done, your girl ain't waxed, nails bare. I'm just in my down to earthy home state. But I am going to get waxed today because, baby, I know they say you don't mess with it as you get older. You don't worry about it. I do. It bothers me. It keeps me up. So the facial hair, yeah, I'm going to go get that taken care of today. But I have a really good episode for you all. Just because I have decided to go ahead and do a couple readings. The readings are going to be based on your sun and your rising signs. But first, let's just do a brief recap of everything that we kind of have going on in this Taurus season. So, I wanted to have this video out by Saturday because that is when the new moon in Taurus, and it was a super moon. It was really big. If you got a chance to get out and see it, actually transitioned. But the good thing about moon energy is that it does spend at least 2 to 3 days in each sign. So the energy is still very potent if you want to get out and soak up some of that moon energy on this good moon day, Monday, as well. But let's go ahead and get into our forecast. So the cosmic energy right now is incredibly potent, strong. Okay, it's strong. And we just experienced, of course, a super new moon again in Taurus on May 16th, a couple days ago, which was Saturday. And it landed right in between a very dramatic Scorpio full moon that we had at the beginning of the month on the 1st. And guess what? A Sagittarius blue moon that is coming up on May 31st. So May is turning out to be very cosmic, and I can actually feel it. The shifts are crazy. The downloads that are coming in have been crazy. The chaotic events have been crazy. It's like it's been chaos, but it's been grounded chaos, like necessary chaos. I don't know. I really can't explain it, but because this is a super new moon energy that we are kind of basking in right now, the energy is very amplified. So the bigger the moon, the bigger the emotions, the bigger the energy, the more dramatic those storm outs and outbursts. Okay, now, but because it's in Taurus again, it doesn't feel as chaotic. It's like necessary chaos. It's deeply grounded and deeply intentional. So if you do have some chaos going on in your life right now, or some things that are trying to work themselves out, it's for a purpose. So it's not just random chaos. This is intentional chaos. Okay, things are happening and coming together for a reason. And remember, Taurus also rules over the house of self-worth, material resources, physical comfort, and building things that last. So it's all about stability with Taurus. Taurus is all about stability, okay? That's why they are notoriously known through the pattern recognition of astrology for being, homebodies, really into their comfort, really into comfort foods and things like that, because they just love stability. They love their staples. They love to do what works. And that is a lesson that we can take from Taurus. Now, one thing that's an unhealed Taurus may tend to do, though, is get stuck. They get stubborn, get set in their way. So we don't want to do that. But we do want to focus on building things that are going to be stable for us in the future, because just because that's key. Do you want to live your life thriving in chaos for the rest of your life, or not necessarily thriving, surviving in chaos? Like in the last video, we talked about being in survival mode. So Do you want to be stuck like that forever? No, you need some stability in your life, boo. And Taurus also rules over self worth. A lot of times we don't chase stability because we don't feel like we're worthy of it. We've been raised in dysfunction and we've been taught to literally survive in chaos. We've been stuck in survival mode for so long because somebody else has told us that's where we are in life and that's where we need to be, because we let people project things onto us. We let people project all of their nasty attitudes and all of their nasty outlooks and perspectives on life, and you just walking around full of optimism, cutie patootie juice, and people just want to squeeze it all out of you. Like, who gave you the right to be having a positive outlook when gas is almost $5 a gallon? How you still going places, and how you still doing this, and how you still doing that? Because we flow. Okay, we flow. Okay, we go with the flow. You can't let external issues control your emotions. Okay, the things that are going on the inside. So Taurus rules over self-worth. So a lot of times we don't have things because we don't feel like we're worthy of them. And now is a good time. Now is a perfect time throughout this week to kind of work on that. Work on telling yourself what you are worthy. You're deserving. I can have that. I can do this. I can do that. You know you. Now remember, we don't want to be living in Delulu land. Gemini season is next. We can get as Delulu as we want to when Gemini season come in. No, I'm joking, but no, I'm not joking. But right now during this time, we want to just kind of get grounded. Tell yourself, you know, tell yourself good things about yourself. Affirm yourself. But set realistic goals, because Taurus are realists. Yes, they love their comforts and they love nice things. They love how things feel. They love material resources and all of those things, right? But they're very intentional and they're very realistic about it. So while you're setting those goals, make sure those are realistic goals so you can celebrate those wins, okay? Like I said, Gemini season is coming, and you want to get outside and you want to be free, and you're going to want to feel the air, and you're going to try this and try that. And if not, you need to start getting yourself in a mind state where you're ready to try this and try that and do this and do that, okay? Because a lot of us are missing out on life because, again, we don't feel like we are worthy. It's one thing if that's not what your bag, that's not what you want to do. You tried that, been there, done that. I don't feel like that. I'm not an outside person. I don't, like making new connections. I don't like doing new things. I don't like trying new places or new foods. If that's you, then all right. But if you've hindered yourself from having those experiences because you don't feel like you deserve them, this is your time to shine. I need you to make a list. I love to make you all make lists. Please make a list of everything that you want out of life. I don't care if it's material. I don't care if it's an emotional. Like, I just want to be in with an emotionally intelligent partner. It could be something like that. It could be, I want a 2026 Land Rover, if that's even a thing. I don't know that much about cars. I'm just saying. Make a list of all the things that you want and things that you deserve, okay? And if you don't feel like you deserve anything, ask yourself why. What are you carrying that you feel like you don't deserve anything? Are you carrying guilt? Are you carrying shame? Are you carrying some type of trauma? Has someone abused you to the point where you feel like you don't deserve anything? Okay. Those are all things that we need to push past because you still have breath in your body. So you still are here. So you need to live your life until the full extent of what you can. Okay. Now, we talked about Taurus, and Taurus wants peace. Taurus wants comfort. Taurus wants predictability. Okay. Stability. They want to know what's going on. They want to know what's the routine. But right now, Mars is doing some things. Now, we know the planet of Mars. Mars is associated with Aries, which is in Greek mythology the god of war. That's what I think about. Also, the energy that Mars carries is this fire energy, though. It's this passion. It's this desire to push things forward, okay, as well. It's not just always war, because the reason why war usually breaks out because there's a conflict that needs to be resolved, okay? And Aries is all about conflict resolution, and they can do it right here, right now, if you want to. So that Aries energy while it is connected with Chiron, which we talked about in the past video, which relates to a lot of the healing with the divine masculine, okay? The men need their healing too, okay? And this is what Chiron is coming to do actually in Aries. But while it's Taurus season, Mars is going to give us some drive. And it's our, I mean, Mars is what gives us drive, it gives us will, it's how we take action, okay? And Chiron, again, is the wounded healer. So this exposes places where we feel vulnerable. And one thing we know in the patriarchy, especially in the United States of America, one thing men do not like to feel made is vulnerable. One feeling they don't like is vulnerability, especially or rejection or just inadequacy in any type of form. They don't perform well. Nobody does, but men particularly, because of the way our society set up, they do not perform well under those conditions, and they tend to act out. So Chiron has come to expose all of those areas in the fellas and that masculine energy and help them kind of work through those things. So this alignment can be kind of triggering. So what the planets, those planets that control our pattern recognition, they have a lot to do with the composition of our air, which in tune deals with a lot, because you got to remember your body is what, about 75% water. So all of these natural elements, they kind of come together to kind of create this ecosystem for us to create what we call the universe, okay? And it's going to influence some of our actions as a collective as well as an individual. And that's where we come up with astrology. Astrology isn't really a science. Astronomy is the science. Astrology is the practice that we use to understand each other. Okay, it's all pattern recognition. So you don't have to fully buy into it. There's plenty of people that thinks it's kooky. Okay, a lot of people don't believe in astrology, but once I did my deep dive, because I come from a place of deconstructed Christianity, and you know how hard they can go when it comes to denouncing astrology or any other forms of practices or religions or rituals or anything like that. But coming from my own knowledge, for a tool of pattern recognition, it does seem to resonate. You just got to be able to go a little deeper. So what the planets are asking us is, are you muting your voice to keep the peace? Now, I talked about this in the last video because Taurus season, we're still in Taurus season, so it all is working together to bring you this theme. Like, are you muting yourself just to keep the peace? Like, hold the smoke. You can't be quiet to keep the peace, because guess what? Eventually it's going to break out war, because things begin to fester. Resentments begin to rise up, and are you rushing out of impatience? Are you staying small out of fear? Like, quit minimizing yourself out of fear. Quit minimizing yourself because you think it's going to offend somebody else. You didn't come here. You didn't come here. You did not come here to be everybody's friend. Everybody's not going to love you. Everybody's not going to like you. In my 30-something years of living, there was only one person that they taught us about growing up that was perfect, who came here to be liked and loved by everyone. And we're not that person. So Taurus season is calling you to get grounded. This new moon is calling you to do something new, but Aries is also calling that healing, calling for that hearing. Calling for your healing, so you'll use your voice. Okay, gotta use your voice. Gotta use your big people words. Okay, because again, it goes back to: do you feel worthy? Do you feel worthy to have a voice? Do you think that your opinion matters? Do you think that what you have to say matters? Because it does. Because what it does. None of us are more important than the next person. And we all have valid feelings and we all have things that we can add to the collective. Now, Taurus energy does not want instant magic or frantic hustling. So, Taurus ain't about that. Like I said, it's grounded. It's grounded energy. All that chaos and only I got 2 years before I'm 40 years old and I gotta have my life looking like this. Or what can I do in 2 years to make sure that I got this type of income coming in? All that is good and well to do that planning, and if that's what stability looks like for you, I understand. But one thing that we don't want to do during this time is start cycles that are going to be hard to break. Don't go rushing yourself because you think there's a time stamp on your life. Okay, don't go rushing yourself because you think there's a time stamp on your life. You want to make sure that you are in the flow. And in the flow means being in the know. And that means knowing what it is that you want and knowing what you want to do and standing 10 toes down on it. So that's what that Taurus energy is going to do. Now, to add momentum to that, Mercury is also going into Gemini this season. I think it transitioned yesterday into Gemini. And that's going to break up that real heavy earth energy that has us grounded and has me walking around looking like I mean, I look okay, but you know what I mean. I'm usually I'm usually more in tune to my appearance, I guess. Right now, I'm more focused on building. You know, I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with my natural appearance, but I guess as a Leo rising, there's a certain way that I present. And I don't feel like that right now. Right now, this feels like building. This feels like perfecting motherhood. Trying to anyway. There's no way to really perfect it, but this feels like, focusing on the home. This is where I'm at. Okay. But Mercury just entered Gemini yesterday, which would have been May 17th, and is breaking up that heavy earth energy with a sudden rush of fresh ideas because I know some of us need them. I've been getting them. I know I've been getting some really good downloads when it comes to my business. I've been getting downloads when it comes to how I want to do this media thing with the vlogging and the podcasting. Last week I just really got a chance to kind of break it all back in, and this week I'm just coming a little bit more relaxed after kind of easing into that. Sharp communication and social curiosity. We are concerned about learning more about each other and communication. Am I the only one that's like craving community? I mean, like, that doesn't have community per se at this time outside of social media. I love all my family on social media. I love that I'm still able to keep in contact with people in Toledo and I still have my sisterhood. But I mean that real connection, that all up in your face, that, ooh, what's that perfume you got on? Ooh, what is that you're drinking? Ooh, where do you work at? What do you do? Ooh, where'd you find those shoes? Community, okay? Connection outside of clubbing, community. And I've been looking into some things, and I have to understand that I'm in a place in my life because I will admit, in my hometown, Toledo, Ohio, it was small enough, but it had enough creative people where I never ran out of too many things to do, where I could always find things to do that I would like to do, like, dancing classes, and, I like going to, gyms, but I like the gym. Not like, and I like Planet Fitness. I don't like that franchise stuff. I like people who started their own gym, who are trying to help people get healthy. I go and support those kind of gyms where they become a personal trainer all on their own. They did it for themselves. They're helping other people do it. They got all types of equipment. They play the music you like. It feels gritty. I like that type of, that type of gym life. Okay. We are tight. It's more community than franchise, and I'm going in there and it's just a bunch of mature people walking on treadmills watching the TVs, and all the bodybuilders kind of looking at you out the corner of your eye trying to see what you doing, and because they really want to correct you. People getting irritated because you're recording. No, I gotta have community. You know, my trainer gotta know that I'm about to put my camera up because this is how I hold myself accountable and whatnot, you know. But not sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent. It's just because I just miss it so much. I want to find my gym and I want to find my people out here. But I've been doing some digging, I've been doing some researching, and now that the baby is getting older, I have been able to venture out a little bit more. So I'm glad about that. Now, this is the perfect week to move from all of those deep intuitive thoughts and all that deep thinking that you've been doing and put it into action. Whatever's been on your mind over this past weekend, whatever you had time to ponder about over the past week, this is the week for you to go ahead and put those things in action, okay? So that's for everyone. That's for the collective. Now, let's get into these signs, okay? Now, I even pulled out the card deck just in case I'm feeling a little frisky and we can see what they have to say as well. But remember, for the astrology readings that I'm going to do for your signs, I need for you to focus on your sun sign and your rising sign, okay? Okay. So, of course, we're kicking it off with Aries. If your birthday is from March 21st to April 19th, you are considered an Aries. And your focus seems to be on finances and self-worth. And let's see what else here. Finances, self-worth, and tangible assets. And the card that came out for you was the Hermit card. So, Aries, it seems like you've been taking a lot of time doing some soul searching, kind of going inward, you know, looking for truth, doing a lot of truth seeking, expanding your wisdom, gaining your independence, learning how to be alone, inner guidance, really just getting in tune with yourself. And all of the answers to life are within you, and you are beginning to understand that. And I also see that a Virgo may be very significant in this part of your journey right now. Now, with Mars and Chiron just having a big old collision in your sign, you are feeling a deep push to heal some of those old vulnerabilities and some of the things that used to get to you. You just like, you know what, I can't let stuff like that get to me anymore. And it's all about taking back your personal power. Now, we talked about in the last video the importance of like taking a hold of that personal power during this seasoning excuse me, during this season, and just really tapping into ourselves. Now, the new moon does land in your second house of income and security, okay? So it's time to demand what you're actually worth. It's time to up the price, Aries. It's time to up the price. All that work that you've been putting in, okay? It's time to add tax, okay? And plant a financial or professional seed that honors your value. Do something in your own name. Begin your own legacy here. But remember the Taurus rule, easy does it. Not only, you know how Aries, y'all, because y'all dive right in. Y'all go right for the goal. But this is asking you to slow down, take a look, think about what you want to do, and then do it, okay? And add tax when you do, Aries. And build the foundation securely instead of rushing the gates, okay? Thank you, Aries. Now, Taurus, we are coming to an end of your season, but we're still here. So, Taurus, if your birthday is from April 20th to May 20th, you are considered a Taurus, okay, under the 12 zodiac signs, okay? Now, the focus for you is going to be on identity, personal reinvention, and fresh starts, okay? Taurus looking for a fresh start in their fresh season. Now, it's your season. It's the annual solar new moon. This is when the new moon is like really amplifying in your sign, and it's a super new moon. So this is your personal cosmic reset button. Ooh, my ears is ringing. Ooh, give me a second. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. Now, This is your personal cosmic reset button. And if you felt taken for granted or stuck in old routines, the universe is giving you the green light to speak up and pivot. Okay, you're ready for something new. So trust your gut explicitly right now. You are being asked to step into the authentic version of yourself. No more hiding who you are. Okay, no more hiding that light under a bush. It's gone ahead time, your time to shine, Taurus. And what you devote yourself to right now will take root deeply. So choose what makes you feel secure. So that's what I'm saying. You know, you don't want to be in this time where the news, the economy is trying to get us to grip to these jobs as tight as we can. Where a lot of us were, they're trying to get us to grip to these jobs as tight as we can, not pursue your dreams, not come into your authentic self or your authentic calling. Okay, so this is telling you whatever you do right now is going to take root, and those roots are going to be deep. Okay, and you need to choose what makes you want to feel secure and fulfilled. So if it's going to create some type of insecurity in your life, or you're not going to be fulfilled while doing it, you're going to be ready to quit it within 3 to 6 months, then don't pick it up, because it's going to be hard to let go. And the card that I pulled for you is going to be the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is all about acceptance and moving on. So Taurus, this looks like there's something that you also need to let go so you can let something take root. So feel the grief. If it's something that you got to let go, you're going to feel grief. Okay, it could be a job, it could be a relationship, something something has you feeling taken for granted, and it's like you're stuck in this same cycle. So you know what that means to you. So feel the grief, feel your way through the grief, but know that things will get better. Okay, Taurus, things will get better. The thing that happens when you're such a stable person, or you are one of those signs, or one of those people who has a lot of fixed signs in your chart, change can be hard. Changing of the guards, changing of positions, changing of jobs, changing of locations, it all becomes hard once you get settled in where you are. But if we really want to have certain things, then shakeup is necessary. So during this time, Taurus, I know it's going to be rough to let some things go, but what you're going to plant and what is going to grow is going to be so much better. So much better. Gemini, it's almost your time, Gemini. All right, Gemini, if you were born from May 21st to June 20th, you are considered a Gemini. Now, the focus is going to be your intuition. Clearing your subconscious and behind the scenes magic. Okay, so we have to clear that subconscious. I know it's hard, Gemini. Gemini is an air sign, and air signs are just full of thoughts, aren't they? Just full of thoughts. And depending on what type of person you're dealing with, they can determine what those thoughts are, but just full of thoughts, okay? So for you, the new moon is hitting your 12th house. So it's going to be pulling you into this quiet zone. The 12th house, I don't mean to say it like this. It's not necessarily where things kind of go to pass away, but the 12th house, that's the last house. That's where things kind of get deep at. And we kind of determine if we're going to lock them away in our secret little heart vault back there, or if it's something that we're going to release. But it's time for you to clear out your 12th house. Now, this is a time for deep listening and weeding out mental clutter. I know, Gemini. I know you literally thrive off of mental clutter. Absolutely. But with Mercury entering your sign, and Mercury is also your ruler, Gemini, and that is the planet of communication. That's why you social butterfly, snappy with the words, quick with the comebacks. Mercury is the planet of communication, and it's entering your sign, and the internal fog is going to lift. Okay, that's going to give you some clarity. Now, you are just trying to balance right now. It's like you got all these uh deep thoughts going on, doing some soul searching, but then you also get these little ideas in the midst of all of that. And it's kind of hard because soul searching actually calls you to be kind of grounded. You have to be in a place where you can meditate and move a little bit slower. But when you get those brilliant ideas, when you get that spark, when you get that flame, when you get that fire, you be ready to take off running. I know. I know. But honor the rest and keep a notepad handy. So write them down. Don't be so quick to run after those ideas right now, Gemini. Just kind of write those ideas down and continue to get your rest. And the card that I pulled out for you is going to be the King of Cups. So with the King of Cups, this is all about being emotionally balanced. Just having some compassion and being able to be supportive, being a leader, being empathetic. Maybe you need to rest in this energy right now, where right now this is a time for people to kind of be able to lean on you and your empathy. So you got to have your rest, because when people are pouring their problems into you, or looking for your wisdom or your advice, it can be very draining. So if you are in a space where your mental is not clear, then you're not going to be able to provide wise answers to people when they come asking for them. So you rest. Whatever you got going on, just rest in it right now. And for ideas that come along the way, just write them down. But this is definitely calling you to be more emotionally balanced. And you just need to support yourself before you can support others. I mean, that's just the bottom line. And that's what that King of Cups energy wants you to do right now. All right, Gemini. Next, we have Cancer. Cancer. If you were born from June 21st to July 22nd, then you're considered a Cancer. Not an actual Cancer, okay? Just like the crab. It's a water sign, okay? And the focus for Cancer during this time is going to be community, networking, and your long-term dreams. So it's time for you to start making some collaborations, Cancer. So the Taurus moon is stoking the fires of your 11th house, which is the house of what? Collaboration. Yes, you are realizing that you don't have to build your empire completely alone, Cancer. New alliances, collaborations, links, or friendship circles that truly get your vision are emerging. Your people, they're coming to help you build. And if you've been waiting for a miracle, this energy reminds you, and me, that you are the architect. So bring your ideas to the collective. They are highly profitable and socially magnetic right now. So Cancer, you got a lot of value. You have a lot of worth. And I think you understand that. So what this is saying is that you just have to find the people who recognize it as well and build with you. You're understanding, like, you are not going to be able to do this alone. You need a team. Okay? Whatever it is that you need to do, you need a team. Okay? You need a team. And you're realizing that, and the right people are going to come into your life. You got that glow right now. You got it. Your ideas that you have can rake in the dough. And people are attracted to you right now. So get your team together and keep on working. And the card I pulled for you is going to be the King of Swords, okay? So with the King of Swords, it's head over heart, okay? We're thinking up here, not thinking right here. Discipline and mental clarity and authority. It's time for you to take leadership over this thing, okay? You might think things through from all perspectives, and that's going to help you choose a team, okay? So getting into this King of Swords energy, this king energy, this mental king energy, okay? That you are king of your own mind and you're able to see things through other perspectives, okay? And that's going to help you build that team that you need to help you along the way. Go build your empire, Cancer. Go build it. Build it and they will come, okay? Leo, now that is my rising sign. Leo rising, Aquarius sun. All right, which is funny because those are like sister signs. But Leo. So for your sun sign, if your birthday is from July 23rd to August 22nd, you are considered a Leo. And Leo, your focus is going to be on career, public legacy, and professional structures. All right. So this new moon has highlighted your 10th house of career and status. Now, this is like a major reset moving into the 10th house, okay? And it's grounded, it's a massive moment of professional resets. 10th house is ruled by Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Okay, so a lot of discipline here. And the trap right now is getting caught up in what others think of you or chasing external validation. So, Leo, this is not the time for you to be like, I have to give the people what they want. What do you want, Leo? Cut through the noise. Cut through other people's projections of what you should be doing, what your creativity should look like, what your life should look like. And don't waste time trying to please the crowd. They're never pleased. One minute they're happy, next minute they're sad, okay? The masses are going to go along with whatever the corporations, I guess I'll say, for lack of a better phrase, feed them, okay? They're going to eat it up. So you can't waste time trying to please the crowd. Just focus on purely building a career legacy that brings you genuine, tangible security. Because we cannot now we can make money off of people's likes, but you know, we can't make it all about what other people think, okay? Because as you can see, once people get caught up in doing it for the likes, a lot of people drag their careers to the gutter, Leo, because they're just doing it for the likes. You could have been doing something really tasteful with your art or your creativity, but because that's not what people want to see, now you're doing something very tacky or very not so demure to get likes, to earn revenue. Don't do that. Stick to the formula and don't worry about what the people want. We're not doing that people pleasing. We're going to do what brings us, again, genuine, real, tangible, something we can touch, security. Okay? And the card that I pull out for you, Leo, is the Ace of Pentacles, but in reverse. So it looks like the reason why this reading came out for you is because you may have feel like along the way you lost an opportunity, you missed a chance, maybe you feel like you made a bad investment along the way, or you know, just having a lack of planning and a lack of foresight. So you just have to see the big picture here, okay? And we cannot cry over spilled milk any longer, Leo. We have to go ahead and push past the voices of the people, push past what we could have done different, and do what we must do now, okay? All right, now Virgo. If you were born from August 23rd to September 22nd, your sun sign is considered a Virgo. And your focus here is going to be higher learning, expansion, and long distance vision. So this Taurus energy, which is also a fellow earth sign, Virgos are also earth signs. It's giving you a massive boost of confidence and intuition. So landing in your 9th house, this moon is making you just crave broader horizons. You want more. You want to see more. You want to do more. Whether that means planning a physical journey, going on a little trip, or diving into a technical masterclass. Like you ready to learn how to do something all on your own, right? Or even launching a bold, creative project. The past is a dead weight, okay? We can't be dragging the past around. Goodness, it's like as soon as you start thinking about the past and you just let it consume you and overtake you, it just becomes a weight. It drains you. You're ready for a nap, okay? We don't want to do that. We want to let all those dead weights go, okay? And it's time to book the ticket or sign up for the new path. If there's something that you are ready to do, sign up for it. If you're ready to take a trip, sign up for it, Virgo. This is your time. And the card that comes out is the Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups, creative opportunities, new messages, information, happy surprise. Now, also, when I think about the Page of Cups, I think about the inner child as well. Okay, so if there is something that your inner child is crying out like, we have not done it yet, when are we going to do it? Are we there yet? Listen, okay? Listen and cater to that inner child. That's where our creativity, that's where our foundation and our roots really come from. We're trying to appease that inner child who had all these hopes and dreams and things that they wanted to do when you were innocent to the ways of the world. And we always want to anchor to that because that's going to also keep you humble, keep you genuine in this world of snakes, okay? They out there now. Let's not play like it's all unicorns and rainbows. The snakes is out there. The backstabbers. They out there, okay? So don't let your emotions get in the way of anything you want to do, Virgo, okay? Libra. Libra, the scales. The scales. Now, if you were born from September 23rd to October 22nd, then you are considered a Libra. Now, with the Libra, the cards are coming out fast. With the Libra, the focus is going to be on shared resources. What are you know, deep transformations and cutting ties. So when we say shared resources, that is like a joint bank account. Maybe you have a business partner. You are a co-owner of something. Anything that you are sharing with somebody else to bring resources into your life, okay? This new moon invites you into your 8th house, okay, of intimacy, investments, and subconscious patterns. How are your ways inadvertently or directly, indirectly or directly, affecting your intimacy and the things you invest in? So it's time to play the role of the impartial gardener. Okay? Some dead branches simply need to be cut off to allow new growth. So, what you need to cut off, Libra? Is there something specific that you need to cut off because you're trying to grow something and there's something dead in the way? So look at joint finances or energetic contracts where you might be overextending. Are you doing a little too much in the relationship? Are you overplaying your role, Libra? Are you overplaying your role? So a new golden opportunity for stable material or emotional alignment is opening up if you clear out the unnecessary obligations, okay? We all grown. And when we're in partnerships or relationships, romantic, platonic, business, or otherwise, we have to make sure that there is balance. You don't want to be putting out more energy than what you're getting back because how are you supposed to be aligned that way? How is whatever it is you're working on going to be successful if you're always operating under low energy because you're putting in the most work? So you're constantly operating at low energy. So that means that you're not being able to put your best foot forward. We operate better when we are in partnerships or relationships where the responsibility is shared. One person cannot carry all of the weight of the entire household. There's going to be cracks in the foundation. if there is. It's just like if you're working on too many things at one time, one of them tasks that you're working on is going to be half done. It's not going to be up to its full potential. So, Libra, what it is saying that you have an opportunity for a stable, to be stable materialistically as well as emotionally aligned. If you're willing to get rid of all the unnecessary obligations that you have taken on. So again, you also came up with the King of Swords. So this is going to be a mental thing for you. The battle seems to be in your mind, where you're going to have to choose head over heart. Okay. Scorpios. Scorpio, if your birthday is from Scorpios, when your birthday start? October 23rd. If you are born from October 23rd through November 21st, you are considered one of those Scorpios. Take me a deep chug before we get into Scorpio. Because it's always deep with y'all. You know, like how sometimes you can say it's not that deep with a Scorpio, baby. It is that deep. It's that deep. And it's going to be that deep. All right. So, Scorpio. The focus is going to be on partnerships, contracts, and interpersonal mirrors. Reflection. It's a period of reflection. So, sitting directly opposite of your sign, this moon lands in your 7th house of close relationships. So, after the raw intensity of the full moon, I know y'all felt it. May kicked it off strong, okay? May came in swinging. I mean, knocking everything over. And this is a clean slate you've been waiting for. So, Scorpio, if this season kind of got off to a rough start for you, just know that I'm with you. But this new moon, this is the clean slate that you've been waiting on. So it's time to build or rebuild partnerships based on absolute stability and mutual respect, okay? I know that Scorpio, they have their requirements of the people in their life, but you know, you need to reevaluate your relationships and see where the stability and the respect is, okay? That's where you need to be at. A sudden ending or shift in a dynamic might feel abrupt, but it's just clearing the table for a much stronger, more reliable foundation. Okay, Scorpio. So it may feel like, you know, this is going to be coming out of nowhere. Like, what is all these sudden changes, all the sudden shifts? I know that the beginning of May kicked it all off, but it's really just clearing the table for a much stronger, more reliable foundation. Because one thing about fixed signs, which Scorpio is the fixed water sign, we get comfortable when things are, you know, we get content. We can get content. We can get comfortable when things are feeling pretty stable. But sometimes when you're in a situation or you are the person sitting on the opposite side of the table, you only can see what's in front of you. The people walking past you see a much different perspective of everything that may be going on at that table, okay? So right now, life is just holding a mirror up, like, this is what needs to change. This is what we're getting rid of. And this is what needs to change. This is what we're getting rid of. And it's going to work out better for you in the long run. All right. Scorpio. So what do the cards say? The card I pull out for you is the King of Wands, okay? So the King of Wands is all about that vision, the big picture, right? Like I said, you're sitting at the table, so you can only see it from your perspective. You can't see everything on the table. Somebody might have set something on there that you didn't realize was there because you're sitting at the other end and not being able to really see, but the mirror is showing you what needs to change. So you have the dynamic energy of a leader. So lead, Scorpio. Lead. Take that King of Wands energy and go forward. Stay focused. Lock in. All right. Sagittarius. And the next full moon that is coming up is going to be a Sagittarius blue moon. Um, and you are a Sagittarius if your birthday is from November 22nd to December 21st. And your focus is going to be daily routines, health systems, and work habits, Sagittarius. So the Taurus moon asks you to look at the little details in your life, like in the sixth house. So the sixth house is ruled by Virgo. And Virgo is all about attention to detail, okay? So, prosperity and growth aren't just about the big wild leaps right now, thinking that you gotta hit the lottery for $1 million to get rich. They are found in your daily systems, things that we do on a daily, as well as your physical well being and consistencies. Because, again, if you are not showing up for yourself, you cannot show up for others. And a lot of times we're going to find out getting that money is attached to our relationships with others and how we cultivate them. So we have to work on our consistency, Sagittarius. You know, Sagittarius be here, there, everywhere, okay? And also making sure that we're getting enough sleep, Sagittarius. Seeds you planted months ago are beginning to sprout. So nurture your day-to-day environment so you can have the stamina for this massive Sagittarius blue moon coming your way at the end of the month, okay? Full moons take a lot of energy out of us anyway. Full moons take a lot of energy out of us anyway. So, you know, Sagittarius, get ready. This one is coming into your sign. So this is definitely a good time for you to realign, again, your daily routines, your health systems, working on our health, and your work habits, okay? All right. So Sagittarius. Sagittarius. This is going to be the Seven of Cups. So you guys are really in that cups energy. Really dealing with our emotions. Maybe because it's the moon, whatever it may be. It's just a really emotional time anyway. Seems like it's a really emotional time. Things are happening everywhere. It's getting pretty chaotic. I, as a millennial, could do without another unprecedented time. If I have to keep living through unprecedented times, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But back to you, Sagittarius. This focus, the Seven of Cups, is options. First of all, it's always about options and opportunities. So step back from everything to gain perspective. So that goes right along with this energy of reevaluating the way that you're doing your routine, the way that you are conducting your sleep patterns, your eating habits, anything having to do with your health. If you're on medications, the way that you're taking medications, the medications that you're taking, and as well as your work habits. Are you becoming a little workaholic, or are you hardly working? Sag, okay? So this is all about opportunities, having choices, and searching for purposes. Don't get caught up in the illusion, though, because one thing about the Seven of Cups, it presents seven cups with all these different choices, but some of those choices really don't lead to anywhere. And if you ever have the opportunity, look up the seven opportunities that are on that card. One of the cups has a snake in it, so you don't want to drink from that cup. One of the cup, you know, just has like a overflow going. There's a wreath, which during those times meant celebration. So you got all these different options, but make sure that you are weighing them completely, because you don't want to drink from a cup that was not meant for you, or could add more delays to what it is that you're trying to do, Sagittarius. So we're going to go ahead and move on to Capricorn. Capricorn. Now, if you are born from December 22nd to January 19th, you are considered a Capricorn. Now, the focus here is going to be on creative self-expression. joy, and passion projects, Capricorn. So, Taurus, which is also an earth sign, lining up your fifth house of fertility, romance, and creativity. Um, you might receive some unexpected, heartwarming news or a sudden surge of inspiration for passion projects. So, if you've been treating your creative side like a chore, like, oh, I need to do something creative. I know I need to do something creative. I don't really feel like it, but I know I need to get creative. This moon is demanding that you bring the pleasure back to it, okay? Everything is not a job, Capricorn. You don't have to treat everything like a task. We know who you are ruled by, which is Saturn, which is the main task master, okay? But you don't have to treat everything like a task. Bring the pleasure, the luxury, and play back into the equation. How creativity made you feel, how, painting made you feel, or maybe how making music makes you feel, or how cutting and sewing and clipping and putting things together, how it all makes you feel. Don't make it feel like a chore because something is calling you to do it and you like, I know I need to do that, but I don't really want to because I'm working, because that's what Capricorns do. Don't. Okay? Get into it. Really dive into it. And let your heart lead the way on your next big builds. You always putting your logic into it. You always putting, your research into it, your facts. No, this one needs to be led by your heart, okay, Capricorn? And let's go ahead and put a card for you. Let's go ahead and play a card for you. Oh. And the card for you is going to be the Page of Pentacles. So it came out in reverse. So your focus on your goals will bring you great success. Okay, so we already know Capricorns are pretty goal focused once they commit to the work. But this particular season, you're supposed to be committing to your creativity. So it's showing that there has been a lack of commitment here. Make some procrastination and even unmotivated because maybe you failed on it the last time. So now you're not so motivated to pick it back up because we know Capricorns do not like to lose at all. Or maybe you got some bad news about it, or maybe you fumbled it. We don't know what happened. You know what happened though, to why you kind of like, I know I need to dive into this, but I don't really want to. Go ahead, do it because it's going to help you center your goals. And if you just let your heart and your creativity lead you on this one, you will be so pleased with the way that it comes out, okay? And this can be for a passion project or some type of creative project that you may be working on, Capricorn. And on to Aquarius. Aquarius, now that is my sun sign. And Aquarius. The focus is on home, roots, family, and emotional foundations. And I found that out this week when I just kind of stripped myself. And I'm not saying that there's anything with, lashes, weave. I love it. I love it all. Accessories, getting dressed, being a girl. I love it all, right? But right now I'm just in a place where I'm focusing more on financial stability, my family roots in the home, establishing roots, establishing routine and traditions, and all of those things that we need to make sure that when we have children, we are putting healthy, functioning adults out into the world, I guess. And just making sure that, we're not wasting our time. Now, the focus again, home, roots, family, emotional foundations. Now, this new moon pulls its focus to your fourth house of sanctuary and inner security. And that is also where we harbor our relationship with our mothers as well. So I've been dealing with things on all of those fronts. So this is all true for me. So you are being tasked with creating a solid base of operations. I am. I have teenagers. And I'm having to hold their head tight to my bosom whether that means physically reorganizing your home space, which I do often, or anchoring family dynamics, which I'm currently in the process of doing now, or establishing deeper roots where you live, which I'm also kind of working on now because, again, I said I'm craving community. It's time for me to start building some type of community around here. So I have my place to go and be something other than Ivory the mom, Ivory the wife, Ivory the partner, Ivory the daughter, Ivory the cousin, Ivory the niece, Ivory the this, just Ivory, okay? I want to go be somewhere and be Ivory the dancer, Ivory the boxer, Ivory, Ivory the mermaid, okay? You know what I mean? So some people might doubt your long-term vision right now, but you don't need to prove anything to them. Build your castle from the inside out, and that's what we're doing, okay? That's what we're working on. Like, one thing, and I had to learn during this season is that I don't have to tell everybody everything. Literally, I don't have to tell anybody anything, really, but I don't have to tell everything that I'm doing. I don't have to announce it from the mountaintops what's my next move or what. Sometimes you just want feedback, but sometimes you just gotta trust yourself and skip the feedback and get to work. Now, the card that I pulled for Aquarius is the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups is right before we get to the Ten of Cups. That's fulfillment. We've reached it. We've reached emotional fulfillment. Nothing else happy could happen to me. And if it does, I could probably just burst if anything good else happens to me. That's the Ten of Cups. But the Nine of Cups is right before we reach the 10. And that's actually where I kind of feel like where I'm at anyway. So everything has turned out well. So enjoy your success. So this is the satisfaction card, stability card, gratitude card, luxury card. Start giving thanks, Aquarius. That's what it's saying. Start giving thanks. Start giving thanks right now for whatever it is. Just start thanking. Just start being thankful. Start having a good attitude of gratitude, okay? And keep building. Don't worry about what the haters say. And last but never the least, this is those fishies, the Pisces. Now, if you were born from February 19th to March 20th, you are considered a Pisces. And your focus is going to be on communication, local community, and mindset shifts, okay? There's a shift coming to your mindset. Now, this Taurus moon is highlighting your third house of expression, Pisces. Technical ideas and immediate surroundings. So it's very much Mercury. You'll finally see exactly what steps are required to turn a long-held vision into reality. It's all coming together, Pisces. Your intuition is razor sharp right now. You on point, okay? You on point. So keep listening to yourself and speak, write, teach, or launch the media piece that you've been mulling over. So if you've been wanting to start that podcast, do it. You've been wanting to write that book, do it. Teach that course, do it. It's all type of digital marketing girlies on the internet that can help you put a course together and teach you how to market it, okay? Speak, write, teach, or launch whatever it is that you've been trying to do. Just ensure that you are moving with integrity and clarity. Okay, so integrity means that you are a person who does the right thing when people aren't looking. So don't build your podcast or your book or your course or whatever it is that you are thinking about doing. Don't build it on something that you do not stand on. And clarity. Make sure that people can fully understand it. Choose the solid, practical route over shortcuts. Don't be trying to take no shortcuts, Pisces. Things are opening up for you, and you don't want to delay it any further where you run into this energy where you get stagnant, stuck all over again, okay? And the universe will meet you halfway. So just do the work, Pisces, and all the things are coming together. Especially when it comes to anything communication related. Because that third house is ruled by Mercury, which rules over who? Gemini. And we know that those are kings and queens of communication, okay? So that makes it a good time for you to really dive into information you may want to present to the masses, okay? And the card that comes out for you again is we have the King of Wands coming up. So you have that energy that you can do this. You can lead the way. You can teach. You can speak. You can launch that media where people will listen to you. So go forward and do so. And that Wands energy is going to give you the fire that you need to go ahead and push that thing out. So that concludes this episode of Ratchet Astrology. So I am headed to go get myself together. Go get me a little waxy wax and maybe a little tea. But this tea is really good. I've been making my own Jamaica at home. And it's been really good. So I'm trying to put together something very special for Ratchet Astrology as we transition into podcasts. I keep messing up, y'all. I keep messing up thinking that I'm recording the podcast, and I'm not. So I only have half episodes ready from last episode and this episode. But after a little bit of trial and error, we will be ready to launch the full podcast for the next one, which we'll be doing, again, the Sagittarius Blue Moon. It's going to be good. It's going to be big. It's going to be bold. We're going to love it all. It's going to give us some energy to expand, and that's what it's all about at this time. So thank you again for tuning in. And again, with the reading, you take what resonates, you can leave what doesn't, and make sure that you look for your sun and your rising sign. So good day to you all. I'm off, and bye.